Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Friday, and we are talking tech in English right here with my friend and co-host, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we are the Biz Chicks. We just want to thank you. We're looking forward to contributions to our contributing editors, Miss Terry Johnson online everywhere, and Dr. Tachi all the way from Florida. So we've got information coming in from coast to coast. We want you to relax, sit back, enjoy, and join the conversation. We're going to be over here on Clubhouse, so just know that if you're on Clubhouse, we are recording and we are streaming this out live on our YouTube channel, our Facebook channel, and out to Twitter, which made the news yesterday. However, before we get into all of that, I just want to say that we would love for you to join our Biz Chicks community. If you have not already done so, you can do so by simply texting BIZ, B-I-Z, to 33777. Once you join our community, we'd love to send you out our free standard operating procedures for Biz Chicks.
Yes.
So if you'd like to get that, just text Biz to 33777 and join our community. With that, we want to get started because, there's so many things going on in tech, and we just like to keep you abreast of what's up with tech. So, Fran, are we starting with this week in tech history?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so what's happening over there?
Well, February 16th, 1984, IBM introduces the IBM Portable Personal Computer. An early portable computer, it featured a 4.77 megahertz Intel 8088 processor, 256 KB of RAM, a 9-inch monitor in the amber, a 5.25 floppy drive, and the DOS 2.1 operating system. It weighed 30 pounds. It cost $2,795.
Wow.
And he said, and the author of this post said, try sitting that on your lap.
Well, you can't sit on your lap. But for that day and time, compared to a computer that took up the whole room, 30 pounds was doing really, really good. That was a major difference. Remember, they couldn't even, in Hidden Figures, they couldn't even get it through the door. It was something. They had to reconfigure the room to get the whole
computer in the door.
IBM computer in there with the card readers. Yeah.
Yeah, so now it went down, but it's still with 256 RAM. I was like, wow. Okay, QuickTake 100 is launched. Anybody ever heard of that? QuickTake 100 was launched. Apple launches their QuickTake 100 digital camera, one of the very first digital cameras aimed at the consumer market. Unfortunately for Apple, as was the endemic for them at that time, they didn't execute the marketing for this device very well, allowing other companies to take the lead in the digital camera market. Apple was out of the digital market by 1997. Okay, well, they made up for that with the phone, so.
I think so. They definitely made sure those cameras work.
Right. February 17th, 2000, Windows 2000 is introduced. Microsoft introduces the latest version of the Windows NT line of operating systems, the Windows 2000. While Windows 2000 did bring plug and play to Windows in the NT line, it was targeted to business and not the consumer. It was not until Windows XP that Microsoft merged the NT line with the Windows 95/98 line. Unfortunately, Microsoft unleashed Windows ME upon suspecting consumers in the meantime. ME was not a good product. February 18th, 1911, Frenchman Henri Piquet makes the first official air mail delivery in Allahabad, British India, moving 6,500 letters to Nani, about 10 kilometers, 6.2 miles away. And he did it by air.
So how you doing, Pat? We got airmail in 1911.
11.
Wow.
First airmail delivery. Okay.
That's a lot of commercial airlines, right?
This wasn't even commercial. Okay, Wright Brothers and them just now got the thing off the ground. So okay. First cable.
The first thing they did was the first cable what?
Oh, first cable TV test. February 18th, 1946, television signals are successfully transmitted from Washington, D.C. to New York City over an AT&T coaxial cable. And you thought cable TV was invented in the 1980s.
I really did.
And 1946.
Wow. Right after World War II.
Right.
Well, how you doing this morning, Jerry? Thanks for joining us.
And then February 18, 1977, the first space shuttle orbiter, the Enterprise, embarks on its maiden flight in captive mode, attached to the top of a Boeing 747 jumbo jet. The flight is the first of 5 captive flights before the orbiter is finally released to land on its own. The 9th-month test program is conducted through November 1977 at the Dryden Flight Research Facility to demonstrate that the orbiter can fly and land like an airplane. The Enterprise, while the first shuttle to fly, was not the first space-worthy orbiter and was only used for testing purposes.
Wow. Now, what year was that?
1977. First warrant to search computer data occurred February 19, 1971. The first warrant is issued to search a computer storage. This event would lead to increasingly sophisticated methods of encryption to hide computer files from law enforcement agents.
Oh, we got some comments over here. Hold on. Pat says about the airmail. I wonder if the first airmail delivery was just dropped out of the plane, like a flyer.
Here, y'all, like, here's your mail, come and get it.
Well, the Pony Express was pretty much that, And then she says, I first saw cable in the 1970s. It was designed to help people in rural areas get more access to the airways.
Very interesting. February 1987, the internet domain apple.com is created. Note that this was a full 4 years before the World Wide Web was launched or Microsoft.com was registered. So they created apple.com in 1987. Wow. 4 years before the web was done. Somebody was forward thinking.
I was saying somebody knew what was up. Said, let's get in position.
They bought their domain and their real estate.
Exactly.
And they couldn't use it for 4 years.
But nobody else had it when it was time to open shop.
So apple.com belonged to them. February 19th, 2008, the war over the high-definition successor to the DVD ends when the supporters of the HD DVD format discontinue it. The Sony-backed Blu-ray format had garnered the support of many players in the industry, leading to the demise of HD DVD. And now, do we really care?
I don't know because I don't have a DVD player
I
anymore.
don't either. I don't have a CD player.
You know what I'm saying? And people keep giving me, or I keep finding also CDs as I click start to declutter. I'm like, oh, what do I do with this?
Because everything is downloadable. You put it on your phone or you put it on your computer. That's your week in tech history.
Oh my goodness.
So
Well,
what's up, Chris Terry?
well, today I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about the fact that TikTok may be getting some competition. Okay.
Well, people have been trying.
I know, but now the bullies are coming into the room like Facebook. But I want to talk about the fact that Google is launching YouTube Shorts, a short video feature that allows you to do 15-second clips. They're bringing it back. It's already really big in India. They have like, what does it say here? 3.5 billion views per day in India. So they said, well, let's just bring it on back to the US. And so it could make inroads in a large consumer market if the American and the global expansions are successful. TikTok itself boasts more than 700 million monthly active users, including more than 89 million installations on US smartphones. So they're saying, look, we can do this. So let me read you this paragraph from the article. Where is this article from? USA Today. It says here, YouTube chief product manager announced stateside rollout of YouTube Shorts in a blog post on Wednesday, alongside several other tweaks to YouTube's video sharing and monetization processes. Mohan wrote that YouTube Shorts will introduce a beta testing version to the US over the next few weeks, expanding a successful launch in India last September. You know, they start these things overseas and then they, tweak them and bring them over here. So we'll see. Now, I think this could be really, really good because people are used to doing TikTok and I don't think people are going to wait as long to get on this as they did to get on TikTok. So that's just my prediction. I think, because Google hasn't had much success in some of these different things.
Okay. But here's the thing. Is it going to be as easy to use as TikTok?
They want it to be easy to use because they say that a lot of people are not on YouTube because there are some challenges for, some of the average people who want to use YouTube. But they say it's going to be easy to use.
Please tell me y'all talking about YouTube Shorts.
Yes.
Yes, we are. We're talking about YouTube Shorts. It's a service lets users share very short videos directly from their smartphones in a couple of clicks. YouTube has described Google Shorts as a new way to express yourself in 15 seconds or less, very much in line with the TikTok experience.
Okay, so Terry Johnson's over here with us. Mm-hmm. Terry, you want to weigh in right now? If you're ready, you can come on in and say something. And Yolanda from Dryer Buzz is over here too.
Hi, Yolanda.
On Clubhouse, and you all know that hey Drea, you all know that you are being recorded. So if you'd like to weigh in, just know that it is being recorded. So, okay. Dryer, go ahead.
Because I know right now it's only open to those that have like 10,000 followers. So when they said they're going to open it up, is that open it up to everybody regardless of subscribers?
Okay, and TJ is probably going to answer that question now that she's in the room with us.
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
We're talking about YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I was going to talk about.
It's supposed to jump off.
Did I answer the question or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the question about YouTube Shorts is what is it or?
No, will it be available to everybody? Because right now it's only available to people with 10,000 users, according
Okay,
to
hold. Wait,
Dryer.
let me get my notes.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's like, see, they're gonna have to make it, if it's not easy to use like TikTok, that means because how are they going to get TikTok's algorithms for doing the little things that you can do with TikTok? See, that's the thing. Trying to copy somebody, but you don't have their DNA, that's going to be difficult to copy.
Right. So this is the deal with shorts as far as it coming to the United States. YouTube says that shorts is will launch in beta in the US starting in the coming weeks. And the article that I read, they said sometime in March.
Yes.
So it's in beta.
Okay, so Dryer was asking, is it going to be available to everybody? Is that right, Yolanda? Dryer Buzz?
Because right now they're doing a test in India. You know, they like to test in India and other countries first.
Go ahead, Dryer Buzz.
Well, that's what I was saying, because you got people who are at the level of monetizing, and you got people who have super subscribers that are 10,000 or more. And when they say it's going to open up here because, you know, only a couple of beta testers and so forth have it now, does that mean that everybody that has YouTube can now load these perfectly portrait videos in short time? Because I know I'm loading my TikToks over there, and we know that YouTube still favors the landscape, you know, even though it's real good for the portrait, but even if you upload a portrait video, you still got to put a nice landscape thumbnail on there. And I think they just need to hurry up and open up and give people options, you know?
TJ, you want to weigh in? What are you thinking?
Well, okay, so I haven't. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out my sound situation because I got the Clubhouse. Hold on.
Okay, so
all right. Okay, I'm gonna try that. The thing with YouTube is they have that partnership program where, you know, there's the limits. I forgot what the limits are. Like you have to have 4,000 subscribers and so many watch time hours. I don't know if YouTube is going to make that limitation that you have to be in that, or they got like Yolanda said, is it going to be available to everybody? So there's no details yet. As far as I know, I have not been paying attention to shorts. I've seen the rooms in Clubhouse where they've talked about YouTube and shorts. Just because of time, I just was like, I'll get to it later. But it seems to be something that because YouTube has released a lot of features this week. So I was going to get into that. But the shorts was one of them. And it's just that it's like Clubhouse in beta. It's like YouTube shorts in beta. It's like all of these things that people want. We want Twitter Spaces, but it's still in beta, and they're not releasing these things timely because they have to be right. They can't release it into the wild and then things break and then there's more complaints. So they'd rather take the complaints of we don't have, you know, a limited amount of people have it versus we release it to everybody, which is, you know, load on the servers. Remember, all of these apps and things run in the cloud on servers, and you've got to have the bandwidth and the space and, you know, for that. So there's a lot of things they're weighing in the balance.
My message sent. Georgina.
Sorry.
I know that doesn't answer the question, but that's what I know so far as with shorts and YouTube.
YouTube is a monetized platform, and users know if you put good content over there, you're going to get good views and you're going to get a YouTube check. These other platforms, they're still trying to create their creator funds, and they're still trying to come around and negotiate, you know, monetizing and so forth, and you know that you got to monetize on your own. But I think if YouTube just comes with it, and you know, I mean, like, you know, if you put content on YouTube, you're going to get your views and you're going to get your money. You know, and that's just not something these other platforms just haven't stepped up like that. TikTok did a creative fund. People got in it. Some people are, you know, doing very well with it. But then they've got issues over there as far as diversity and suppression of African American and other content. So, you know, they got issues. And we haven't seen those kinds of issues on YouTube as much. you know that your followers are your followers and they are seeing your content. That's these other platforms. They're just not beholden to what they said they were going to do.
Okay. Well, we got a couple of comments over here on the live stream. Also, Dryer Buzz. Patricia, first of all, said, "What? No CDs, no DVDs. What? What's that?" Okay,
Yeah, that's because that's from the tech history.
that's what we were talking about earlier. Okay, so she says YouTube Shorts is being highly favored by the algorithms right now. What that means, I have no idea. Terry, can you interpret that?
Well, it's like any of the new features that are released in any of the apps. Those are the ones they're going to push forward, like like Instagram Reels. That's the thing to use now because Instagram wants to push that forward. The same thing with Facebook, and they had Facebook Watch, which now it didn't go as planned, and they don't care about it. There's something else in Facebook that they just dropped. Was it Premiere? I think the premiere feature, on Facebook where you could premiere video. Remember the whole big deal with that?
Never used it. I'm sure it was
right.
a feature.
See, it's dropped. It's been dropped because nobody's used it.
And the money thing, the cryptocurrency with Facebook is dropped too, right?
Right. Carlos has a good comment if you want to bring it up.
Okay, it says here, shorts are part of them wanting to create their own over-the-top platform for movies. Okay. Is it a Quibi? What is?
Don't go there.
Okay. Shorts is just YouTube's way of saying short form video is the hottest thing now.
Yes.
You see that with TikTok, and we've been talking about how long have we been talking about TikTok here? Over a year? Before it got hot. Before we were talking about TikTok before the pandemic. Then I was saying that it was going to be the hottest thing, and it was. It is.
It was 2020.
Short form content has been ruling social media since 2017 when they started with stories. Facebook took the stories. Instagram took stories from Snapchat. Well, Snapchat was the first one. It's short form content. I don't have to invest in it. It disappears. I don't have any relationship with it as a creator. I can do something and it may be messy, but it's only going to last 24 hours. So that is the hottest thing now and then TikTok drove it forward pandemic wise. It's like our attention spans are like this now. So YouTube is simply getting into the fray. YouTube is saying we got our own short form video over here because you have to realize there's some people that like YouTube. There's some people that like TikTok. TikTok won't go to YouTube and vice versa. Some will and some won't. So YouTube knows I have to keep my creators happy. Same thing with Snapchat. And Snapchat is a classic example of this. They've been saying Snapchat is dead for like 60 years. Is it dead? No, it has a dedicated niche fan base. And Snapchat is happy with that because it's like 400 million users or whatever the number is. I have to check the latest number. But to Snapchat, that's good for them because they have an invested niche community that will stick with them no matter what. Facebook has the most users, 2.3 billion or whatever the number is, but those are bots, fickle, in and out. They're not dedicated. The only dedicated group that's on Facebook is the 45 and up, the grandma and grandpa generation. And Facebook knows that. That's why they went and bought Instagram because they wanted Instagram at that time had the younger user base. Instagram's base is growing a little older steadily, but Instagram had the Gen Z millennial, and Facebook said, well, we can't keep young people on our app. We'll just buy Instagram and fold that into Facebook world. They haven't innovated and done anything in a while. Facebook is coming out with a watch. It's a stupid idea, but
I agree. Like a watch.
I need Tachi here because she'll say they're the mass them none, and it's true. They just throw stuff out and.
Are we talking about a watch like you wear on your arm?
Like an Apple Watch, yes.
Okay. Carlos has some comments that are relevant to what I'm saying.
Okay, so let's go here.
Bring them up.
That we already did that one.
Yeah.
So here we are.
He said the shorts offer future rentals.
Feature rentals.
Yeah.
And then the last one.
Snapchat is boring, full of odd content. It's kind of like the Inquirer of social media.
See, this is why I love to talk about Gen Z, young millennial, and they're all mixed up. There's an old millennial, a young millennial, there's a Gen Z, there's a Gen Alpha. But I would say all of those groups under 35, 30, they are driving everything that's done in media and advertising. They love Snapchat. Snapchat's not for the older crowd.
My grandson loves it. He's
Because they
13.
have the tools for that community. I just said Snapchat is a niche community. Those people that use Snapchat love it. They're not going to Facebook. They're not going, they might go to Instagram, they might go to TikTok, but Snapchat, you see that Snapchat did their spotlight thing, which is they integrated some TikTok-like features. So if I'm a dedicated Snapchat user and I'm 18 years old, 20, whatever, and I love it, and my friends are, oh, TikTok, this and that, I might go over there and look at it. But Snapchat said, wait a minute, I'm going to give you TikTok and Snapchat, so I don't need to leave.
Well, Carlos is talking about the watch. He says the watch will permit GPS and tracking, plus enter a fitness offering for the community. So
I love that word tracking, because do you want Facebook to track you via your watch?
So they can tell you, look, you're passing by the
They're
store.
saying,
Don't you want to buy such and such?
Okay, so Facebook is saying because it's for health reasons and GPS tracking and health reasons. But do you trust Facebook right now, the app?
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. Oh, yeah,
No.
where is Portal? Okay.
As they age out, yes. As they age out, but not right now. Millennials will turn into an older group.
So the whole thing, I don't want them
Apple wants
in my fitness world. So because here's the thing, because now they're copying Apple.
Exactly.
Okay, so are you gonna get a watch that talks to whatever you're doing online or whatever? Okay.
Facebook has a privacy issue, and a watch, a portal, whatever device, a wearable shirt that says Facebook and whatever. Facebook has a privacy issue, and they've had it since that Cambridge Analytica. That's when the door cracked or crashed. Cambridge Analytica, and people woke up and was like, "Whoa, okay." So now Facebook has a privacy issue problem. They don't care, but we care. So I'm not going to buy a Facebook watch.
Hi Sherry, how you doing?
I don't understand Facebook Watch. So the other Facebook Watch, because they have
a physical watch, not the Facebook Watch, the video. They're developing or thinking of developing a Facebook Watch, like the
I
Apple
understand,
Watch.
But they should have figured out the marketing situation and called it something else, because you already have watch, so people
they're not thinking. They're not we talked about this last week with Instagram. Instagram doesn't know what it's doing. Once it was sold to Facebook, it went off the rails because of, I will say, the problem is management. Zuckerberg and those guys, they want things, and they're doing this, and they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink. They're throwing spaghetti on the wall and to see what sticks. They don't know what they're doing.
Okay, so Carlos says over here on Facebook, he's saying Google Watches already track you, so you know it's not like
any digital item you're wearing tracks you.
How you
carry
doing?
your iPad around with you. That's carry your phone. Everything. So
he says Apple was copying Fitbit on steroids. Okay, so I think everybody has FOMO, fear of missing out. Oh, that's selling. Let's make our brand. You know what I mean?
Well, I think a lot of it is, can I do something and take it and make it better?
Well, really?
Well,
some of them just let's get in this game.
Facebook, because they're not making it better; they're copying literally.
Okay.
But I'm talking about there are companies who.
There are brands that have some integrity.
Well, not even that. I'm just saying, like like Carlo mentioned, Apple was copying Fitbit. I didn't like Fitbit.
Me
I,
neither.
I mean, I didn't like it. I was like,
Don't like
okay, so I got to wear a watch and this thing at the same
Yes,
time.
and
And I was like,
See,
yeah,
here's
pointless.
the issue. Apple's a brand that gives its customers, not everybody, its customers what they want. Now, I'm not saying they're perfect because they have items that price
no,
people out in the market, but their brand identity is to satisfy their market, not everybody. So people
Right.
buy the Apple Watch because it fit into the Apple ecosystem. That's how they built
yes,
it. Every other brand, Samsung or whoever, they're not doing that. Facebook, because why would I want a Facebook watch? Why? Why Facebook?
it's probably going to cost less and be more
Dude,
accessible.
Now, if I got an iPad, I've got an iMac or a Mac Mini or whatever, and they give the watch, that's another piece of the puzzle to me as a customer who likes my phone, who likes my iPad, and they say, hey, here's a watch that does this and that, and they're all integrated. And when you copy something on one device, it copies to the other. Or you
Okay.
can unlock your iMac with your watch. You don't have to type in a password. Who doesn't want that?
or
I
you
mean, there's
can
some people
go,
that don't, but
you can leave your phone at home and go
Mhm.
for a run and still take a call.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so I'm thinking, okay,
So this is the deal. There are Apple
oh,
haters out there. Hey, hate them all you like, but they deliver the products and services, the goods and everything that their target market wants. Otherwise, Apple would be out of business and not growing and have all this cash reserve it's sitting on. So yeah, you don't have to like them. You don't have to buy them. That's why there's other brands, just like detergent. I like Tide, but there's other detergents. I don't like any of the others. They can reduce their price and all that stuff. I'm still gonna buy Tide because that's what I like. It works.
and see,
So,
and Facebook is trying to give everybody what they want. You
who
cannot
asked for a Facebook watch? Let's take a poll. Who asked for a Facebook watch? The actual physical watch, so they
Oh
can
my
track
God.
you for fitness.
I
Okay,
think we're
and
all trying to get out of the
ask
Hotel
for
California.
it. I did not. I didn't even have that on the radar.
Here's Carlos.
Yeah, please put that up. That's a good one. That's
Apple
good.
Carlos says Apple is a $3 trillion company that knows how to make everything work together.
And they know what they know their why.
This
They
stuff
know
is
their
true.
audience. They
Mhm.
know right.
Carlos said, I need a Facebook watch to work with my portal.
Okay.
Okay. And how many people bought the portal?
And there's some people who did buy the portal,
They
but
did.
I'm not hearing about portal right now.
No, the sales went up during the pandemic because remember we were still we're still
And it was easy for people in convalescent homes to use. You know what I'm saying?
And maybe that is the market that they
That is
need
the market.
to
Because
put
did
it
you
in
see
there.
the last commercial, the last portal commercial? Was it with an older gentleman and the grandson, or was that Alexa? It was one of them with that portal is skewing older couple that have a that they want to keep in. I think the commercial was they wanted to keep in touch with the daughter. It was Christmas, and they did an ugly sweater contest, and they all used the portal. So all of those that age grouping was like 45 and up, 50 and up.
And I'm presuming that's because it was an easy tool to teach the grandparents how to use. You just touch this.
Yeah, it's the jitterbug. It's the jitterbug of
exactly.
That's what I was going to say. And Carlos said Portal is the most popular live streaming conversation device.
Yes, amongst a certain age group. A certain age group. Right.
And I'm still, how would I connect with Portal? Do I got to have a portal to talk to somebody else who got a portal?
I'm going to bring up a little story in my household. I have a teenager.
Okay.
Oh,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
An iPhone, and we just got new ones. We also have iPads. She has an iPad that she has access to. So we have Netflix and streaming stuff. We have TVs that have the streaming stuff, Apple, whatever. So she doesn't watch on the big TV. She doesn't watch on an iPad. She does everything on her phone. everything. And I said, well,
Everything.
don't you want to watch? We got Apple TV with the thing, and we can watch the movie on HBO Max or whatever on the big TV. Nope, she wants everything on her phone on this thing. She doesn't want to watch a big TV, and teenagers don't want to do that. They want their phone. That's all they want.
Right.
Phone. They read, they draw, they even draw on it. There's Procreate that we have that draws on the iPad. She can use it on her phone. And we're thinking, I'm as an older person thinking, well, I don't want to do that. I want to watch TV on a big screen. They don't want to. Gen Z doesn't want to do that. So think about that.
So Carlos is saying it's not the age group amongst the focused devices for video to video. It's the highest among focused devices for video to video. It's highest selling. And my question to everybody here is, if somebody I'm trying to connect with has a portal, do I have to have a portal to talk to them? Because see,
I think so.
That's going to be a problem.
I don't know. I don't know. Don't start me to lying.
Carlos is the live stream king. Carlos, do both parties have to have a portal, or is there a way that I can call in and they can take my video?
I thought it was like Facebook to portal. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm asking Carlos.
He says no.
No, what, Carlos? No, you don't. It works with Messenger. Okay, so I can come in on Messenger. Okay, that's better, because I'm I'm not trying to buy a portal to talk to you.
Okay, and then the other thing is Messenger has video anyway. Why not just set them up a Facebook page? Okay,
because it's too small. They don't use a small device. That's the problem. The
older crowd does not use a small device because
the whole thing is
or whatever.
Tech challenge. I get it. I keep forgetting the tech challenge. Okay, so ladies, we're sort of at the halfway point. Do you want to weigh in here now, Terry, with
social media?
Social media, because
let's
have one other thing, but I
no, go ahead and do that, because we can just.
I think we need to move on because this was a stimulating conversation. I don't want to squash it.
And see, Carlos is saying that this is a good thing about a portal. The camera follows you around.
Right, and that part is really good. So
well, that depends. I think it's kind of creepy, but okay.
Okay, so I'll get started.
Okay.
So this week in social media news.
Okay.
We talked a little bit about Google and YouTube. And hold on, guys, because I gotta leave. I'm gonna leave Clubhouse because the echo is just like
bothering you.
Yes. Okay. I'll come back in. Because it's like you hear yourself talking and there's the like, who's talking? Okay, so YouTube, which is owned by Google, so they've announced a whole bunch of features. So they're testing shorts. We talked about that a little bit earlier. They have an item called applause you can buy, and then online shopping. So all of these features that they're putting in are ways for creators to make more money. So let's talk about it a little bit. So they also have something called auto chapters. So there's a lot of stuff. YouTube and Google, they've been really quiet as far as like releasing social media features. There's been lots of news, which I try not to focus on. But if they're putting in new things in their apps, I'll talk about it. So they have a new applause function. Fans can support their favorite channels by purchasing a one-off clapping animation that appears only to the creator. The more you pay, the more elaborate your applause will be. So it's kind of like think about the hearts feature in Periscope, and you can tap and get one heart, but if you keep tapping hard, there are more hearts. But this applause feature will only be seen by the creator and not by us watching the live stream or whatever's going on. So they're saying this is okay. So there's different clapping visuals. So I guess the little icon that the creator sees will be different depending on where they are, I guess. So they're also putting in e-commerce opportunities and beta testing a new integrated shopping experience that allows viewers to make purchases directly on the site. Now, what does that sound like? Because Instagram is doing that with their shopping feature. So Instagram has all of these different things where you can, tag your products and people can tap it and buy. You can put it in reels. You can do a IG and you can shop live and all that. So e-commerce, not e-commerce, but live stream e-commerce is making a big splash. It's like going everywhere. So like I said, Instagram, does Facebook have the shopping? I'm not sure. But that's one of the things that's building up to be a big deal. So live e-commerce, I call it live stream e-commerce shopping, but there's a word for it, live shopping or something like that. So they'll be able to do that. Also, there's new parental tools. You have the option to add specific videos and channels from the main platform to YouTube Kids. So I'm believing that if your channel is optimized for, say, it's not restricted 18 and over, that if it's something for kids on the regular YouTube channel, you can easily share it to YouTube Kids. Okay, Carla says shops on both. So both Instagram and Facebook. Okay, thank you. Video chapters. Video chapters will be your video will be segmented into chunks, making it easier for viewers to find the information that's relevant to them more quickly without having to skim through the video. Now, this is a big deal. This is timestamps, is what they're calling. They're calling it video chapters, but it's actually timestamps. And I've seen this on some of the YouTube videos. If you hover your mouse over the video, you get some features or dials or things that show up where you can scrub the video. So you'll see little chunks, little squares, and that's how you can jump. Those are the chapters. That's how you can jump from the beginning of the video to the middle where they're talking about the thing that you want to talk about. Right now, you can on your YouTube videos down in the description, you can say this is where I talk about whatever, and then you put the timestamp. And then you list the timestamps, and people can go to the description and click on those timestamps and jump fast forward without scrubbing. They jump directly from, say, the first minute of the video to like the middle or the last. It's to get the information they want to get without watching the whole video.
Okay, and without having to search. Yeah.
And Eileen is here, which is perfect timing because Eileen can. If she has a comment, Eileen, we're talking about YouTube Shorts and trying to get to the gist of it because I haven't paid attention to it. There's too much stuff to follow.
Yes, and she was over here in the clubhouse. So Eileen, if you pop in the clubhouse, you can go on.
Yeah, come on, Eileen, into the clubhouse and then tell us about Shorts because I know a little bit. So the Shorts this is what Google is saying. Shorts is. Shorts is a new way to express yourself in 15 seconds or less, very much in line with the TikTok experience. This is a short form video tool that they want to fill the gap with the TikTok not having the TikTok features. Shorts is getting over 3.5 billion views daily around the world. YouTube will launch Shorts in beta for the US starting in the coming weeks, which is what's being said. And excuse me, the article I read, they said they're thinking sometime in March that this will be available.
All right, Eileen, you want to weigh in?
Is she in Clubhouse?
Yeah, she's in Clubhouse.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute.
I feel you.
YouTube Shorts is really YouTube's answer to TikTok. And, they rolled it out officially in India first, which is where TikTok is banned.
Yeah.
So actually, there is a camera for YouTube Shorts. So in other words, in India, if you have the mobile app, you can click on a button to create a short. However, everyone else can still create shorts, and it doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is that it's a vertical video.
Okay.
60 seconds or less.
Okay.
Now, they recommend that you put hashtag shorts in your title or in your description, but sometimes it won't even matter. Even if it's an engaging enough video, you don't even have to have the hashtag there. But I would still put it even in the description because you may not want to mess up the flow of your title. The thing about the shorts is very complicated, which is why I never did a video about it, because I know they have to change, because this is super complicated. But this is how it works, guys. There's something called the short shelf. And if your video gets put into the short shelf, that's when it can go viral. But there's a lot of competition for that short shelf, where some of these videos got millions of views because they're comedy, and that can only be seen on mobile. Only on mobile. However, your same video, that same video that you wanted to get onto the short shelf, it's just like a regular video on your channel. So your subscribers can see it, they can watch it on desktop and all that, but it's less chances of it going viral. And there's like no algorithm or nobody's figured out how to get into the short shelf. It's just whatever YouTube decides that they're going to put in that short shelf. However, we do need to be like really funny or really quickly capture people's attention with the short. So, it's like I said, I know they're going to change it because it's just so convoluted.
Yes.
If it's on your channel, then it's a regular video, and all that stuff, that's got to go away because people are confused. So, just give it time. But for right now, just take your chances and go ahead and put up a short. It has to be vertical video, and and it can be related to the regular topic of your channel, or it could be just a departure from your typical topic. Maybe you see something funny in real life, and you're just like, let me just turn it into a video. And so, take your chances with that.
Okay, Eileen, I have a question. Does the short last a certain amount of time, or until you take it down?
No, I would not recommend taking it down, because remember, it still rests as a regular video on your channel.
Okay, got it.
Subscribers can see it. It still can get searched and found in search and all that stuff. So you don't want to take it down. But you don't have control over when YouTube decides we're going to put this video up in the shelf. It's not getting enough engagement. We're going to take it down.
Okay, got it.
And because that topic is trending again, so it's kind of a mess in that sense. You're just crossing your fingers. Make a good video. Make it vertical. Put that hashtag in there. You can put it in the description and just cross your fingers. But if it doesn't work, don't say, oh, these shorts are, you got to make a bunch of them.
Right.
And guess what? It only takes you less than a minute. Because so nobody can complain, oh, it takes forever. No. It could be 13 seconds. It could be a part of one of your store bid somewhere else that was really engaging. And then you just go ahead and upload that. Now, I would recommend uploading it from your phone, but you don't have to. You can upload from desktop as well. Okay. But I feel be on the safe side. I just upload it from my phone.
That's good information. So it doesn't necessarily have to be live. It can just be.
It's not live. There's nothing to do live.
Right. Okay. It's like TikTok. Think TikTok videos.
Okay.
That's why you say they could be 15 seconds.
Yeah, because remember, it's under 60 seconds. So even if you were live, your subscribers wouldn't even know you were live in under 60 seconds.
So this is just, remember when Instagram put stories in and then they have the DM feature and then they have it's like a compartmentalization of the app. Like, okay, there's YouTube and then there's shorts, which is like videos that are not live, but they're like TikTok and they go on the short shelf, the shorts shelf, like a different part of YouTube, but it's still a video on your channel is what I need to say, right?
So it's like you get a copy and they get to look at it and decide if they want to put it on the shelf.
Got it.
And so if you want to see what some of the other short videos are, go to the mobile app and go to the home page of YouTube. Sometimes they do appear below a video that you're watching. But if you go to the YouTube homepage on your phone and you just scroll up.
Okay.
You'll see, the videos, a couple of videos will be on top, and then you may see stories before the shelves, or sometimes they're mixed in together, stories and shorts.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Yeah. So that is the shorts shelf. And check out the view counts on those videos. Right?
Yeah, I see. Wow, 5 million.
There you go.
1 million views, 1.1. Wow.
So the competition is incredible, but it has nothing to do with search. And
Right.
It's just,
I'm seeing Larry Snow in my shorts. Like he has a video.
oh, good. I'm glad for him.
Yeah.
So they probably throw in some of the videos of people that you subscribe to or channels that you're subscribed to, like similar videos and things like that. So they're just like, basically, it's a big old experiment.
Wow. His one is 31 million views. Oh my goodness.
See what I mean? Yeah. And babies do good there. And anything funny,
So we have no control over where if it goes in shorts or not. We just have to mark it as hashtag shorts, and Google decides if it goes there.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
Got it. Thank you for clearing that up, Miss Eileen, because I know she would know all about it. And I'm like, you haven't made a video about shorts yet. I'm anticipating that eagerly. So I will be checking that when you get ready to do it.
Yeah, well, basically, GE Niven has one out there.
Okay.
It takes you longer to explain it than it takes to do it.
Okay. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you.
Just put
so what do you guys think about the shorts?
Out there.
Yeah, say that one more time, Eileen.
Oh, sorry.
I said just make a engaging vertical video that's less than 60 minutes. 60 seconds.
There you go. You got it.
Everything else is chance.
There you go. Final word from Miss Eileen. She knows. Thank you. So what do you think?
Thank you.
About shorts? Nobody?
Okay, Carlos got jokes.
Well, I got a question though before Miss Eileen get out of here. So they basically you just upload it. So you got to create this video somewhere else. So are people just simply repurposing their TikToks over there, or are they coming with a tool for you to create these engaging videos? That's the question, because TikTok seems to be in their feelings that we're over there creating video and repurposing them all over the place. I honestly will say that when I go to that short shelf, because I could go there and I could spend 15 minutes watching shorts because it's fun. And I have not seen that TikTok watermark. Maybe once or twice. I'm not gonna say I never saw it, but that's not really the goal. Well, before now, like right now, it's hard to download your video. Before, you could download your video and get rid of the watermark. So you can go put it on YouTube, and you can go put it on Snapchat and Instagram. You wouldn't know it was a TikTok video. But now people have to find another workaround because TikTok is making it more difficult for you to remove the watermark. And I guess that's in the war with Reels. And let me say something else about that, because remember we talked about this the other day. The TikTok has all those permissions for the music, and most people are using music in their TikTok, right? Mm-hmm. TikTok, those permissions and those deals, which are not allowed on YouTube.
Right.
Okay. So really, you want to think about creating shorts separately from your TikTok in general. Okay. It's like I said, how long does it take? It's going to take you less than a minute, unless you're somebody who's really like sitting at their computer and doing some kind of animation and all that, which most of us, I see, are not doing. But, if you're someone who is so inclined and so talented to do that, then, but I would just go ahead make separate content for that. And you know what? Just take a look. Go to that stuff and take a look, and you'll probably catch on whether folks are using repurposed content. But the videos that I've been watching are not. They're YouTubers that are just creating short videos to try to bring folks back to subscribe to the channel. Like I subscribe to a guy who he does exercise, even though I'm not like a huge fitness buff or anything like that, but his videos were so engaging. I was like, you know what? I could subscribe to this because he was fun. He talked about the different kinds of push-ups or something like that. And I was like, this is worth subscribing to because I could tell he's entertaining.
Right. That's a good point about the music. I mean, that's an excellent point. And also there's the thing, I think Eileen might agree with me, that the YouTube creator world is different from the other video creator worlds. Like YouTube, they are, that's a certain community that they love being on YouTube, creating videos for YouTube. So making a short is not a new thing for them. But then if, like you said, if you're trying to repurpose from TikTok has the watermark there for a reason. Like, one, because they, it's TikTok. They want everybody to know that it came from TikTok. And two, like Ms. Eileen said, there's the music licensing part of it, which doesn't apply universally. Those things are made with individual, entities, corporation, licensees, stuff like that. And Dr. Tachi knows about that. So that's why. And this is another thing, I heard a discussion about reels, and some people were saying why they don't have it in certain locations because of the music licensing. So nobody thinks about that. So that's why it's not something that you can repurpose from one platform to the other because of the music.
And I want to answer one more part about what Dryer Buzz was asking about having an app. Remember, I said the dedicated app is only in India right now.
Right.
Okay. And specifically started with India.
So there is an app.
There is an app.
Just for shorts. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, and that was what I'm assuming, Terry, you were reading from Susan with Jackie's blog post, right? So
right.
She said those tools are going to be rolling out to other countries.
Right.
She didn't say when. She said in this year. Okay, this year is a long time. We don't right? So I mean, I could look for it, but know that it's there, it's coming. They might test it over in Australia or something first.
Right.
It's going to come to the U.S. next, I bet. But that's just my guess. We'll see. I think it's worthwhile. I put up some, and to be honest, like I said, I didn't get a whole lot of views. There was one that did fairly well. I could tell it was on the short shelf because all of a sudden I had like 300 views in one day. And I was like, okay, and then it went away from the short shelf. So it was worth doing. I've done about a dozen of them.
Okay. Thank you, Eileen. Any more about shorts before we move on?
Carlos has a joke about shorts.
Okay.
Carlos said, I do a lot of video in my shorts. I will be submitting my hashtags.
Okay. All right, so we'll move on. All right, next, Twitter is testing voice messages in the DMs. My opinion was, hey, again, copying a feature that Snapchat had for the longest, because you could send voice messages in Snapchat to each other. Like you could just, you hold the button down, you record something, and it goes to them, and you talk back and forth like a walkie-talkie kind of feature. So that's what this is. They're testing a new feature that lets users record and send voice messages in their DMs. As you know, they're testing the Twitter Spaces. So this is just another feature that they're laying on to keep people using the app. And audio is big right now and getting bigger.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Did we? All right, I'm not going to talk about everything because we're running out of time. Sorry guys, No, I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, so Instagram has they're planning to launch a multi-participant live stream feature. So again, here they are adding more things to their video arsenal. I have a little screenshot here. I'm sorry, Clubhouse, that you won't be able to see it, but it's just a screenshot of what the feature is going to look like. Bring it up.
Oh, so they're trying to play a StreamYard.
Right,
now.
that's what it's going to look like.
Mm.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not Clubhouse. But...
I don't see it on that.
No.
No. So
was-
it's, go ahead.
I was going to describe it, but go ahead and describe it. You got 4 people in a.
Right. There's 4 squares. Think blab, but it's more portrait than square. So it'll be 4 squares on the screen. Really is what it is. And then there's a list at the bottom where you can follow each other. You can tap to follow each person.
Didn't we see this before in some other? Didn't we see this in Facebook or something?
I think you were thinking about what is that? Appear in?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
okay, this ain't nothing but Zoom on the phone. But
you know what I mean. And that's my question. My question is this them trying to take some audience from Zoom? Does it have? What's the capacity over here?
So what they're saying is that I'm assuming it's going to be whatever IG Live, the capacity for that. It's just going to be, instead of having one person, or right now you can invite somebody to the live and there's 2 squares, one on top of each other. Now there'll be 4.
Oh, it's
so
StreamYard on Instagram.
You'll probably invite them in the same way you do now.
Eileen, go ahead.
No, what I would love to see is a screenshot of when there's only 3 people. I want to know what that layout is going to look like when there's only 3 people. Are they going to stack them vertical or horizontally? Or are they going to have that same 4-person layout but only have a blank square there? I think it's kind of odd that they're only showing the 4-person. I think they should show us what the 3-person is going to look like as well.
Right.
Maybe it'll be one big square on the top and 2 small ones on the bottom. I don't know, but you're right. They didn't show that.
But that's my problem with the Instagram Live is the comments always go over the guest's face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It's also good afternoon or good day. Oh, I'm here.
Good day.
Hey, Tachi.
I am good. I'm good. So my issue beyond the comments always going off over the bottom participant, and you don't have the option to swipe those away. My issue is that it's not the most stable platform. So the moment you let somebody in, what I've seen tends to happen is the sound for the original instigator, we'll call them, or initiator of the video. The instigator, their sound tends to be suppressed. And there's all sorts of sound issues. It's wonky. It's sometimes difficult to get in. It's just, I think that in 2021, they could do something better. And my issue is, or my pondering is, you haven't even fixed all the issues when you have 2 people. And now you want to add 4? Okay.
Again, muddy in the waters.
I don't know if they care if stuff is fixed. They just like making announcements.
I don't think anybody cares sometimes if things are fixed. People only care about problems when it affects their bottom line. But if they could get away without fixing things and nobody says anything, it will be business as bloody usual.
Mm-hmm.
Tachi, I agree, but I really think that Facebook and Instagram are their producers in that sense, because one thing about like YouTube, they will address things that don't, when they don't work. Whereas Facebook, I have about 5 different pages that I manage, okay, and all of them got different ways just for me to post.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no step-by-step from Facebook that says, okay, this is how you use this interface. And then they always want me, do you want to go back to the old interface? I'm like, I don't even know what interface I'm on now because y'all got me lost.
Yeah, absolutely. Facebook, or Master of None, as I like to call them, they are terrible when it comes to direction and help. It's meant to be, it should be user friendly, but it's really not. And so I can understand how people get confused and turned off when it comes to that. But back to this whole thing, I'm very. We'll see what happens with Instagram in terms of how I'm hoping it because there's so many people now that are doing programming on Instagram and have built audiences on Instagram. And it's really difficult to migrate people to something else once they have gotten used to you in a certain place. Even with, I'll just talk about D Nice. I'm always in CQ. And if he now was to say, now I'm only going to be on YouTube, people would probably follow, but people would follow and maybe grumble a little bit because they're not used to seeing him on YouTube and they're used to just tuning into IG and having it there because that's just another platform. So it's difficult. So we'll see. I hope they are able to do something stability wise with IG.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, TJ. Back
Okay,
to you.
that's it. There's some stuff with Facebook we already talked about was the watch, and there's something going on with Facebook in Australia and banning the news, but I'm not going to get into it because we're running late. Well, not late, but I want Dr. Tati to have her
Weighed in with what's
hear
going
her
on.
story.
Yes, Dr. Tachi, what's happening in media news?
Yeah. Okay, so there are a few things happening. You know that we have to pray. I am a hip hop head, especially an old school hip hop head. So if you had not heard, Prince Marky D, who was a hip hop pioneer and a founding member of the Fat Boys, passed away at the age of 52. He was not old at all. And in fact, he was an avid IG liver and had a whole tribe, like all these people now during the pandemic who have built tribes on Instagram through their Instagram lives. Prince Marky D was one of these people. So he already had a tribe and then it increased because of that. So apparently he had just done an IG live, 2 days before or whatever. It was joking with people and now this happened. So it's unfortunate. It was really a big hit. It hit the hip hop world very hard. And it's like, wow, makes you think and wonder and ponder. So I still did not see any cause of death yet, so I'm not quite sure. But we really have been taking this whole first half of 2021. We've been losing quite a few people.
Taking some hits, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So rest well, Prince Marky D. We really enjoyed you. And it's funny because D Nice did a whole set. I knew he was going to come on and DJ after this happened. And so he did a whole set, like a Fat Boys, Prince Marky D set. And it was really nice to hear that old school and that reminiscence. So rest well. You will be missed.
Yeah.
All right. What else? So let's talk. I'm sorry. Was somebody going to say something?
No, we're just all on ears here.
Okay. I thought I heard a gasp. So you could gasp at Roku. Let's talk Roku. I'm sure, does everybody here have a Roku, or are you using Roku, or do you use something else?
I do.
I have one.
I have one too.
Okay. Roku is probably the most popular set-top box. Most people who have the set-top boxes or the sticks, usually it is a Roku, but Fire Stick is usually popular as well. I happen to have both because Fire Stick was on sale for like $14 when I bought it. So of course I got it. So Roku has been doing record numbers. They have surged to 51.2 million accounts and have an unexpected Q4 profit. So for Q4, they've actually added another 5.2 million accounts to get to this 51.2 million. That's great. By the end of 2021. So this is Q4 of 2020, not 2021, 2020. And they started the year, according to them, with just a little bit less than 37 million active accounts. So this is a big jump for them. And they also reported a 49 cents per earnings share, which is well above the 6 cent loss that analysts had projected.
Mm.
So what are their sales? 64.99 million. Sorry, not 64. 649.9, excuse me, million. Yeah, jumping 58%. Good for you, Roku. They're doing something right. And I actually reported on Wednesday that Roku is also, on top of this, looking into producing more original content. Everybody is trying to get their grubby little hands into the original content game, and I cannot say that I blame them. So there's money to be made in original content, particularly because we're consuming so much of it because of this pandemic. This pandemic is not going anywhere anytime soon, especially with these idiots in Florida laughing and coughing in bars and stuff with no masks and on the beach. So it's not, yeah, I don't want to go into that, but
yeah, I know.
This is why I can't go to the beach. Thank you, Florida. Anyway, so because of that, people are going to be in for the foreseeable future. We've got new strains of the virus coming out. So this is life for a little while. I would say don't look for another 2 years before things start to quieten down, as they say in the UK and my mother likes to say. So it's going to be a little while. So we're going to be looking at more in terms of home entertainment. So that's why CES, a Consumer Electronics Show, was so focused on things for the home and home entertainment, because this is our life. So things that, you know, you may not have, you may have a little bit of interest at CES, like PPE innovations, and then, you know, some home entertainment options. They got even more this year because of the pandemic. So you could look for more streamers, look for more content. Roku is trying to get their hands in that content game, and so they have announced that they will be producing more original content as well. That's Roku. Moving on, unless somebody has something to say about Roku.
No, I love them, and they do have a channel within the, and that's what they're creating the stuff for, correct?
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Stream on their own channel. Okay.
They have their own channel on Roku. You know, these programs are not just floating out. There is the Roku channel, and they're creating original content for that. And in that same vein, they are interested in acquiring more Quibi stuff. Now, as you remember, poor Quibi. Moment of silence for Quibi.
Pour one out for Quibi.
Poor Quibi. I don't have my thing, but I would have poured some libation for Quibi. This one is for the homies, the Quibi homies. So Quibi, as you know, shuttered in November because they just could not get anything to stick. We all know the sordid story, but Quibi programs have found new life where? On Roku. And Roku is looking to make more purchases of reasonably priced. Look, they can't afford to raise prices. Quibi just tighten your belt and take whatever they offer you.
Exactly.
Reasonably priced Quibi content. So they've already spent quite a bit, about is it 100 million? I think they've spent something to that effect on QuibiCon, acquiring Quibi content, and they're looking to buy more Quibi content. I'm interested to see what ratings are like for this content on Roku, because it just didn't find a home on Quibi. So was it because of the price? My thing is like, well, I don't know about that, because you gave us 90 days of free Quibi. And people, I guess, were so uninspired and unenamored that only 8% of the people who came on for Quibi's free trial stayed with Quibi after that 90 days. So that means 92% of the people didn't like what the hell you were selling. So I'm wondering how and if this is going to do better on Roku. So they're going to integrate 75 Quibi series that they acquired into the Roku channel, as you said. And we'll see what happens with profit, what happens with maybe it just, people didn't even want to do the free trial, some of these people, and maybe Roku is just the thing to breathe new life into some of these terrible shows. Who said that? I did. Anyway, let's keep going. Go ahead.
I was thinking, wouldn't Quibi be a good fit for the YouTube short channel?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Isn't it the same thing?
I was like, it's short.
You know, it could be, but let's remember that YouTube had YouTube Red with original content on there, and that did not do very well. That shut down. So in order to be worth it for YouTube, they would really have to charge, for these, Quibi things, or really have some sort of deal where the advertising paid for that. Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth it for them. So YouTube already has, ventured into the original content era already. It didn't do well for them. They've gotten out of that. It doesn't mean they won't come back to it at some point. But if you think about it, one of the shows that was doing the most well, the wellest, those aren't words, but whatever. The show that was doing the wellest was Cobra Kai, right? And now Cobra Kai, yeah, I like wellest.
Yeah, wellest.
What was doing the wellest was Cobra Kai, right? Which is a continuation of the Karate Kid story. And so Cobra Kai is now over on Netflix, right? So once they decided to shutter what they were doing with original content, Netflix took it over. So I just don't think that YouTube is in any position to really deal with original content right now. They've got their creators that are creating original content. I think their focus is there. And you know what? I hasten to say, this is what every content creation platform should be looking at. You should be looking at how you can engage more of us. That's right, we, the lay folk, to continue to make such content, because you tried it. So they tried it with celebrity stuff. Quibi tried it with celebrities, didn't really catch on. YouTube tried it with celebrities, really didn't catch on. What does that tell you? Yeah, we're interested in celebrities and these shows, but we're also interested in people who look and act and think and behave and could possibly be us. We're interested in seeing what they do with content. I don't know how many times you have to slice the block of cheese to understand that, content providers. I don't get it. Maybe it's me. Perhaps I'm the daft one, but I don't think so in this case. So to your point, long-winded, I don't think that YouTube is interested in delving more into the original content game right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully that answer. I mean, it seems like a natural fit, but no, if they tried it, it hasn't really worked for them.
Oh.
So speaking of YouTube, YouTube TV, and I think one of you has YouTube TV. Is that correct, or am I wrong?
Oh no, 86. I 86 YouTube TV.
You 86 did. Okay, so this is no longer pertinent for you. But for those of you out there in Tech Diva land that do have YouTube TV, they are offering HBO Max, Showtime, and Stars for $5 less in a new entertainment bundle. Yay, how we love these streaming bundles.
Wow.
I'm not coming back for $5 less.
You know, I think we should seriously do some research on what does cable really cost now, because this is just getting ridiculous.
But no, cable is like this, twiddling their thumb, or if they're like a praying mantis or bees. How they did this is like
we're waiting. They're waiting.
They are waiting for streaming to mess up, and they are starting to mess up, not of their own selves, but simply because there are too many streamers now. Yep. All of these, every single network has their own plus, right? HBO has HBO Max. Disney has Disney Plus. Paramount, which has Paramount Plus, which was CBS All Access. Peacock from NBC. You can go down the road. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's just too much of, what do you call that when you go to the restaurant? A la carte? Everything's a la carte.
A la carte. Yes, that's the problem. There is too much a la carte. And you know, when you start to add things to that bill, before you know it, you are like, $100. That was like one time when we went to this dim sum place in Chinatown. Or somebody said, oh, it's really good. And we're like, we'll be the judge of what was good. And it was not good. But the problem was with that dim sum place was that everything was a la carte. And so my sister and I were on one tab. So we didn't think about it. We looked about it. We're like, $100 for this wasn't nonsense. So we were upset. But it was because all of these things were a la carte. And they keep coming by with carts and like,
Yep.
okay, we'll take that. Okay, oh, there's some. Okay.
Yep. And then at the end, they look at your plates and they tally up the plates.
Yes, yes. Now I would have had no problem if it was delicious, but this was not delicious, ladies and gentlemen. So I was upset. And what I am proposing to you is what these streamers are serving up to you is not very delicious. You keep
Okay.
driving here from Disney Plus, HBO Max. I've got this, La La Plus, okay?
And don't forget
Wizard
Peacock
Plus.
is still commercial, and Peacock is still commercials. You're paying, and you
Yes.
still get commercials.
Exactly.
Oh, my
That's why I say don't pay for it. If you're going to do Peacock, do the free plan. I'll take a whole hour of commercials if that means I don't have to pay. But everybody and their entire family, their family have a streaming Peacock. Peacock. Yeah, a streaming Peacock.
A streaming
network. So I think now the consumer is boggled and overrun and overwhelmed with choice, and it's problematic. So
it really is.
Yeah. Because when you're presented with a lot of choices, you go, I'm overwhelmed and I don't choose anything. And you back away and you go to cable.
Right. Mark is got Mark Ward in the house over here on
Ward.
Clubhouse. Hey,
Mark.
Mark, did you want to say something?
Hello there. I was just going to say, in regards, and Tachi, you and I have spoken about this before, I don't remember where, but the whole a la carte thing, it would become even more competitive if, the one thing that always perplexes me is so many of the apps for networks, you can't download the apps unless you have a TV provider, which to me seems sort of counterintuitive and kind of stupid. It seems to me that if they would offer their service as standalone for a low fee, that we could then really have the power to truly create things a la carte, which I realize there are many entities that don't want that for reasons that are obvious. But I'm wondering if anybody will ever step out. I mean, Peacock is sort of like that because, you can watch things for free on Peacock, but they're not the new things, though, generally. Like the episodes that have aired on the network don't appear on there, I don't believe, for free.
So at the close of business, it is, if we do this, will it generate revenue? That is the only thing that matters. That's it. That is it. We like to think that they're here to provide a public service, and they are. There is regulation that mandates that there is a certain amount of for broadcast stations, that there's a certain amount of educational programming per day that's there. So there are some things that are there to ensure that television is there for the public good. But overall, and if you're pay TV, they don't really have to adhere to some of these things, right? Because you're paying for it. But at the close of business, does it make us money? And that is what they care about. I'm sorry. That's all they care about. Sorry.
Well, I'm not mad at them for that. I mean, you want them to make a profit, but like I said, I'm just overwhelmed by the multitude of choices and the fact that they're coming out so quickly, one behind the other. It's like, oh my gosh.
Because there's money to be made. Look, I think everybody has been trying to topple the all great and powerful Netflix for a very long time. People laughed at the very beginning when they came out with this model of not only mailing DVDs with the latest, with shows and movies to people. Blockbuster was laughing at that, and look where they are now. One store left. One store left. But I think people were poo-pooing what they were doing, and then when they came out with the streaming, that people really were like, oh, come on, that's not going to happen. And then the industry has been scared for a long time of streaming because they're thinking it's going to take away from what they do, whether it is the television, the cable networks, whether it's broadcast networks, whether it is the theater, the movie theater industry. They've all been scared that streaming is going to take a bite out of crime of what they do, and it has. It seriously has. But if they were if they had taken a if we can't beat them, join them mentality long ago, I doubt we would be in this scuffle, the scramble for life right now if they had, because I think everything would have coexisted a little bit more. Not saying that it would have been exactly as it was in the glory days of linear television, but they would have coexisted more peacefully than they do now.
Right. I
Hey,
think.
guys,
Go
do you
ahead.
think that anybody will ever because my whole thing is, I think a company would totally eliminate the competition if they would come out and, I mean, there's lots of streaming services where you buy packages where you get lots of stations, but if there truly was one that allowed you to choose a la carte exactly which stations you wanted, now maybe there would be like a minimum, like you had to choose 10 stations for this package or whatever. I think that whoever did that would kill the competition. I don't know
Table.
does that.
You're right, but there's there's so much more, because there's the licensing of the content. Would a network agree to that? Because as it is right now, there are deals, licensing deals, etc., in place when it comes to these carriers and the cable. That's why you notice with streamers, when you have things like the YouTube TV, the Sling TV, Live TV, your local channels are not necessarily always on there because they don't have to be on there. So each streamer has to make separate deals with all of these different networks, all of these different stations, because there's nothing saying you have to be on there. That's your choice. So it comes down to the fact of, have you negotiated a deal where this happened? That's why you can see like Sling has all of Viacom. I'm not sure I'm trying to think of which streamer it is that does. You were talking about it, Mark. What you have that does not have the Viacom channels, because you said Bravo was something you were missing. So that means your live streamer, does not have Viacom channels, because they have not reached a deal with Viacom yet. That doesn't mean they won't, but they haven't as of yet. So it's so convoluted and so intricate that the things that we want that to us make common sense, because of the red tape, can't happen right away or very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what else do you have for us? So that's
this is basically it, except let's see, did I have one more story for you? Yeah, one last story. Smartphone streaming of in-demand entertainment has grown worldwide. I thought that this was very interesting. This is from The Adjust, which always does a streaming report every year. So, so consuming on-demand entertainment with mobile devices is on the rise worldwide. And I know this because, again, when we look at the population, we have an aging population, but we also have a lot of younger people as well. And how do younger people consume content? On their smartphones, right? They're consuming content on their smartphones. So these findings are part of, as I said, the platform Adjust Mobile Streaming 2021 report, based on research into the entertainment consumption patterns of 7,000 people in the US, UK, Germany, Turkey, Japan, Singapore, Korea, and China. So a total of 52.5% reported streaming more video content on their smartphones while social distancing, and 12% said that they streamed less. This is the interesting thing, though. Age didn't appear to dissuade streaming entertainment on smartphones. So even though younger people watch on smartphones, this wasn't necessarily just an age thing. So according to the report, 90% of users that were 55 and older in China and Turkey said that they stream via their phone every day, or at least more than once a week. Now, let me go back to this. China and Turkey, that makes sense, because how are people mostly getting information and stuff anyway? Through their smartphones. It's not like here, where many people have TVs in their homes, right? And TV is a big thing. A lot of people are watching on mobile devices. So for China and Turkey, yes, that is going to make sense that it's irrespective of age. In the US, it's probably going to be very tied to age, because of the fact that we have both linear television sets and our smartphones or mobile devices. So I found this a very, very interesting. So, but it's on the rise worldwide, and that's it. And hey, Arian, my friend Arian is over on the Clubhouse side.
Hey, Arian, welcome.
Hey, it's interesting that you just said that because we were talking earlier about the portal, and I was telling a story about my teenage daughter who does everything on her phone. Even though we have TVs and devices and iPads and this and that, it's a preference that they consume all their content with their phone. And then, like you said, if it's like in China, that culture is all about mobile. Like everything is on their phone, regardless of age. Where here it's a different vibe. Like I was saying, I like to watch stuff on the big screen, and like I don't want to watch any movie, or I don't watch Netflix on my phone. I don't like it because it's small. But this generation, this younger generation, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they're doing everything on the one device, the phone.
You know, I must be a Gen Z or Gen Alpha because I do both. I do that too. I do both, but I'm good for like watching something on my phone and just having it close to me. And so
yeah, I mean, I'll do it, but I'm like, it's not my preference. I'm like,
yeah, absolutely. I get it.
Hey, Arian, did you want to chime in?
Hi, ladies. I can't.
Go ahead.
But I'm actually like Dr. Tachi. I look at my stuff on my devices too because I like to be comfortable and in my bed. So I don't have a TV technically in my room. So when I do want to watch something, and if I'm in my room, I open up my iPad and I watch it on my iPad. I'm definitely not a Gen Z. But no, it's just about convenience for me, and I just, it's all about where I'm at. I watch TV while I'm at doctor's appointments on my phone, so I just pull up the phone or the iPad. So I'm just adding that in. But thank you.
Yeah. Whenever I have to wait, I pull up something on my phone.
Right. And like on my on-demand stuff, like I said, if the cable people come back, they better have on-demand for a lot of devices. Don't tell me I can only be on one device at a time. That's not going to work.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just got excited. I got excited. So that is going to be the operative thing. The thing is, if people go running back to cable, it is going to be by cable's rules. And remember, they did whatever the hell they liked before. Oh, no, you can only have one device. No, you have to have everything in this package. And the package is $5 million a month. Take it or leave it. And we had no choices, so we took it. So until this cord-cutting movement and all these streamers started coming through with all of this stuff. And in fact, there were a lot of people that I knew that had cut the cord before now, back in the early days of Netflix, when they just had really a lot of movies. I knew some people that were like, I'm not paying all of that for cable. I'm good with just having Netflix and watching my movie. That's what they did. They did not really watch live TV much. If they did, it was like news reports. And that was like at the time too. Remember when they had switched over from digital?
Yes.
So to digital, where you had to have that converter box in order to convert. Right. So if you had standard definition television, exactly. So right around that time, that was when they were making those changes. So they're like, I'm good with my converter box and my rabbit ears, and I will watch Netflix. And now Netflix, we had the choices of. So even back then, people were tired of exorbitant cable bills, and they were ready to let that go. So it's just now we have more choices. But what's going to happen is if people do decide to go to cable, it's not going to be by some nice rules of like, we've changed. They have not changed, ladies and gentlemen. They're the same. They were just waiting for streaming to fall on its face. I'm telling you, they are the same. You think it's like with the wolf in what is it?
Little Red Riding Hood.
Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf got in the damn bed with grandma's things on after she
waiting in the wings.
Waiting in the wings. It's still the damn wolf. It just has on sheep's clothing. Just saying.
Hey, Tati.
Sir.
It's like an abusive relationship. Oh my gosh.
Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Tati, do you think then that cable companies will move to where everything that they're offering is streaming, kind of like they do with like, what is it, the Dish apps or whatever, or AT&T Now or whatever? Do you think they'll start doing that rather than forcing people to have somebody come out and with a cable box? And
yeah, I think that is an excellent point, Mark, because the thing is, it also saves on overhead. If I don't have to send somebody out there to attend to everything, because remember, I have to pay for that, which you really pay for. That's less overhead for them. So I absolutely think this is going to be an a la carte, do-it-yourself type package where they may send you the box. You may be able to pick it up at a local retailer like a Best Buy or something like that, but you're going to be on your own for the most part. I think now, for most things, entertainment-wise, we are looking at you're on your damn own.
Yeah.
But why would you even need the box these days? I mean, why wouldn't they just set it up kind of like YouTube TV? You know, just set it up so that it's a streamer, but you're just contracted to them.
You mean through like Roku or whatever? They would never do that. They would. I shouldn't say they would never do that. It will be an uphill battle to get them to create an app for something like a Roku or whatever, because they want to have control of that. So they would want, and especially remember, they're coming out of the hardware game. So my thought is their first thing would be to provide hardware to provide their streamer. If they see that doesn't work, then they would take their antiquated way doesn't work. Then they would take the route of trying to do it. But they are a proud, all these Comcasts and Frontiers, they are a proud people, and they don't want their stuff on anybody else's device. Because remember, they are a hardware company first initially. So I see them going the hardware route themselves. If that doesn't work, then they will suck it up and try and get on a Roku or something like that.
So I have Xfinity /Comcast /Peacock. So when all I want is the internet. I don't want the TV service. I don't want none of that. Don't bundle me anything. Just give me the internet and make it fast and don't play. So they give that to you and they say, well, you know, you can have the Flex and it gives you free Peacock. There's no extra charge. It's just, so it's just, I think it's just a way for them to get in the door.
Yes.
All I want is internet.
Yes.
Well, that internet has gotten just as expensive as my cable bill. I noticed that. And all I have is internet. They have found a way to get me to pay them the same money for just internet.
Right. And
it is, and it's problematic because the thing is, okay, cable and these programming, they're nice, but they're not a necessity. To survive in the world we are now, in a pandemic world, you do have to have internet, and it is not a choice. It is something that should be a public utility. And I think they need to start looking at it as such, because we're looking at it as a commodity that is, it's nice to have, but you don't need it. That the pandemic has changed everything. It was needed before.
Yes.
But now we see it's actually needed. So I think that's the problem with that, is that they view it in that sense. And it should be a public utility because it is a necessity nowadays.
I agree with that.
Can I jump in a little bit?
Go ahead.
So here in my area, for people who still have cable, they don't go to individuals' homes anymore, especially due to COVID now. So COVID has definitely shifted how they operate and turn on cable. So they actually mail people, and everyone's doing it themselves now. I personally cut the cable before COVID, and I have the AT&T now, which has been working pretty well for me. And so I love it. And I don't need any box or anything, but you did need a Roku or a Fire Stick. So that's why for me it was an easier transition. But the streaming is great, but to someone mentioned about cost, my streaming is actually the cheapest thing that I have now, and my internet is almost just as expensive as my streaming by itself. So that's where they get us on the other side.
Yes.
Dr. Tachi mentioned is that if they don't get us on the streaming side, they're going to get us on the internet side. So
Exactly.
I'm with the same company still, too.
I even think about that. Going to get your costs down. If you're in an area, because I've done this many times, especially when I had people. If you're in an area where there are competitors, which not everybody has that luxury, but once you see the promotion of the carriers, you call the cable company, but don't go through customer service because they will do nothing for you. You call sales and you pretend like you pressed the wrong button. But you tell them that you want to cancel because you've seen a better offer through the competitor. And I've never once failed at having them give me a much better offer than I had even before I called. But only through sales. Customer service doesn't care. But the salespeople do for whatever reason. That's always worked for me. It's always worth a try. You have nothing.
I love it.
I've done that. And now the issue is just being on the phone too long. So that's been why I haven't done it recently, but I will be doing it again. So thank you for that reminder.
Oh, I love the way we game the system. I do.
Well, they game us, so.
Deb Skippy, they invented game system. They're the queen of and kings of fleece. More fleece than Old Navy. So yes, absolutely. So that's what I have today.
Well, this was a very insightful conversation. So I want to thank everybody watching live over on bizchicks.live on Facebook and Periscope and Twitter, and everybody here in the clubhouse. This was a really good conversation. We invite you to come back again. We will be back here on Monday with coffee, tea, thoughts, and more conversation. Dr. Tachi will be around on Wednesday for Media Scope and all of the things that she's got going on. Dryer Buzz was here. Drea, thank you for being in the room over here on Clubhouse. Appreciate you. And we're looking forward to more conversation. TJ will be back on Tuesday with more on digital marketing and social media, things that you can do to improve your business. Mark, as always, Arian, thank you for tuning in with us, and appreciate you being in the room. So with that, we want to say, Terry, got anything else?
I just want to remind you to go to the front of your own line. We'll see you next week. And Dr. Tachi, I thank you so much for your time. You're just such a blessing. I always enjoy.
I'm so glad I could even get here on Friday.
Yes,
so I was trying to wrap up whatever meeting so that I could get here. So thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
So with that, we'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend, guys.